Hey folks, it's Matt once again, and welcome to my review of the last, at least so far, Chucky movies. Now, like I've said before, I enjoy the first three when they were called Child's Play. Bride of Chucky lost luster for me. Seed of Chucky I don't like, but this one, I think this is easily the worst one. I know a lot of people disagree with me because this has a lot of love for it. I don't get it, but hey, if you love it, fine. I'm not here to shit on you for your opinion. I'm just here to say I think this movie fucking sucks. I gave it another shot. I did not pay for it because I was not wasting my money. The first time I saw this film was with my friend Mike OCP, which we then we did a podcast and took shit over it. Because I think it's a bad movie. It's cheap, it's a bore, and it's a chore to sit through. Yes, it tried to be scary, but I'm not giving it a fucking ribbon because it tried to be scary. Makes me think of that scene in one of those Meet the Focker movies where Robert De Niro is looking at Ben Stiller has like all these ribbons for when he got in 12th place. Or he entered the contest, here's a ribbon. I'm sorry, just because it tried to be serious like the first one. But here's the thing, I'm not giving it praise because I think, in my opinion, it failed. It fell flat on its face and it fucking sucked. It was boring, it was slow. Most of the characters were a bunch of dog shit. Chucky looked cheap as fuck. Seriously, I wish I could do comparisons like how they do over here. I'll put Child's Play 2 and when Chucky's walking with that ruler. Then over here you put Bride of Chucky. Like 50 minutes in when he's killing some lesbian nanny with electricity and some CGI pools around her fucking eye, and Chucky's looking like a fucking transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. I'm like ready to look at him. I was like, you have fucking eyeshadow on? I look at fucking Chucky. I'm like, are you going to kill me or are you going to try to fuck me? That's what I get when I look at this Chucky. Yeah, I know later on, he had some makeup to hide the scars, like from Bride of Chucky and such. But even after that, he still looks like shit. And before that, he looks like fucking Boy George. I'm ready for Chucky to see him come a chameleon. I come, you go. I come, you go. The effects on Chucky, the doll, it's like a cheap knockoff of Chucky. It's like the other Child's Play films, you have Chucky, like you would have a shoe, 90, and then the knockoff would be like Schnighty. So this is like, fucky. They misprinted it. I think of that John Claude Van Damme movie Knockoff. When they got like the shoe and the thing's fucked up so you know it's a knockoff. So maybe I shouldn't call this Curse of Chucky. I should call it Curse of Fucky. Fucky, me love you long time. That's what Chucky looks like. She looks like that fucking girl Bylene. The cast, okay, you have a girl in a wheelchair played by Brad Dourif's daughter. Okay. She does okay, I'll admit. I'll give credit where credit's due. She's not bad. She's not the end all be all, but she did okay. Watching it again, she wasn't bad. Doesn't save the movie. Maybe if it was in a better movie. Her mom is in the beginning of the film, then she dies. The woman who played her sister, the character's just written as either kind of bitchy or completely and utterly clueless. The little girl was meh, one way or another. The lead girl, like I said, she's in a wheelchair. Just long ago, we find out. Well, I'll get to that. Anyway, she's in a wheelchair. And the actress is, I forget the actress's name, but it's Brad Dourif's daughter. She's the lead, and the woman who plays her sister, she has a hubby, which I swear to God is the twin of Mark Ruffalo. This guy could literally be Mark Ruffalo's double. If you looked real quick, like, is Mark Ruffalo in this movie? No. It's just a guy who could almost be his twin. You have a nanny who's hot. You have a priest who is a priest. Jennifer Tilly makes a cameo at the end of the film. The one good scene is during the end credits. Not even during, like after the end credits. At least when I saw it, it was after the end credits. And it's an older Alex Vincent as Andy Barkley. Chucky has had himself sent there, had Jennifer Tilly send him to Andy Barkley. You have a reference to Kyle from Child's Play 2, that character. Thing that says military school, so it references Child's Play 3. He's talking on the phone saying, "Hi, Mom," which is a nod to Catherine Hicks. He mentions the name Mike, which is a nod to Chris Sarandon's character, which means maybe Catherine Hicks, Chris Sarandon, they got together. And then Chucky is going to do something. He turns around. There's Andy Barkley with the shotgun that says, "Play with this," shoots Chucky in the face. And the movie ends. I'm like, that's the best part of the movie. Is not even actually part of the movie. It's after the end credits. That's like if a Marvel film, you go, the best part of the movie was after the end credits. That little nod. That doesn't make the rest of the film a good movie. It makes me go, why the fuck isn't that the movie? Why can't that be the movie? And they're doing another Chucky film. I'm like, please don't. Just let that bit with Andy Barkley be the end of it. He killed Chucky by blowing his head off, and that's it. Which, honestly, I'm wondering, would that work? Because there's a scene where the fucking lead knocks Chucky's head off, and he's perfectly fine. So would blowing up Chucky's head off with a shotgun work? Even though it would work in other movies. Because by that time, he's been more human. And here it seems like it's been a longer time. Because what is the time frame? It's after Seed of Chucky. Bride of Chucky must happen because Jennifer Tilly's there, and Chucky mentions the Tillys, which is a reference to Seed of Chucky. But at the end of Seed of Chucky, he was in bits and pieces. But yet Jennifer Tilly hated him because he killed her and tried to kill the son. But now she's okay with him again at the end of the film. And yet, it seems like a long time span. So, based on previous films, he would be human, which means he would be able to be killed. But yet there's a scene again that the girl knocks off Chucky's head, and he's fine. He just walks off, picks his head up, and does like an exorcist head spin. I'm like, wait a minute, other films he would not have been able to do that, and it's been long enough of a fucking time span. And I know I'm thinking more into this than the fucking writer, which is sad because it's the fucking director, which is sad because it's fucking Don Mancini, who came up with the story of Chucky in the fucking first place, in the first fucking movie. And he directed Seed of Chucky, which sucked. That was his shitty attempt at comedy. He directs this. This is his shitty attempt at horror. It shows that he cannot direct comedy based on Seed of Chucky, and he cannot direct horror based on Curse of Fucky. Which gives me a fuck you to Don Mancini. How about them apples? Please do not make any more Chucky films. I don't need to see any more Chucky films. They're going to be this cheap and this fucking boring. I was so fucking bored that my dick fell asleep. I had to literally jerk off to wank it up. Of course, that's a fake story. But that story is a more interesting, exciting story of suspense than this fucking movie. And that's a story I just made up, 10 seconds ago. The suspense of the sleepless dick is a more fascinating suspense tale than Curse of Fucky. All it is a bunch of fucking assholes in a house that I don't care how many times you shoot with an angle isn't fucking creepy or scary. Okay, yeah, you attempt to be scary again because of the really jokey Bride and Seed of Chucky. But I'm sorry, Don Mancini. You cannot go back to the first movie. You cannot try to be Tom Holland, the director of the original Child's Play and original Fright Night, trying to be him and failing. which honestly to me shows that Tom Holland, director of original Child's Play and Fright Night, he had talent. I'm sorry, you don't as a director. I don't care how fucking mean I am. Does this film get the praise up the ass and I don't get it? It's the best sequel since it's the best film since the first one. It's the best sequel. I don't get that. He had, a bunch of people in a house. Chucky finally really starts doing stuff like 50 minutes into the movie of a 90-some-minute movie. The doll is cheap as fuck. The rest of the acting is nothing to run home about. At the end, they try to do this little, I don't know if not a twist, but trying to tie in the first movie, which doesn't work and seems fake. It seems false. It seems like a bunch of bullshit. It seems like a crock of shit. That, oh, well, Charles Lee Ray, the human version, of Chucky, before he went into the doll. Remember the beginning of the first film and Chris Sarandon's chasing him? Well, Charles Lee Ray, in a fucking ode to Sin City, I guess, because the director shoots the whole thing in black and white except some flowers which are in yellow. And there's our lead's mom who's pregnant with the lead. This is way back when. And Charles Lee Ray wants a family. He wants a family and he wants to he likes families and he wants families. I thought he was a strangler that strangled people. Man, now he's a nut who wants families and thus stabbed into the stomach of the pregnant woman, and that's why the lead is in a wheelchair nowadays. And that led him to run off and get shot by Chris Sarandon. And I'm like, what? This is a guy. I mean, wasn't Bride of Chucky when Jennifer Tilly loved him and, oh, you don't marry me, and Chucky said, what, you fucking nuts? That Chucky Charles Lee Ray is also the guy that wants to be a family man and gets pissed because, oh, you said no. I mean, what the fuck? Well, you can't take those movies into. They do in the movie via dialogue and via the way Chucky looks with the stitches in the third act of the film. And this is the same guy who's writing these fucking movies and directed the last movie. I'm sorry, you made your bed, Don Mancini. You cannot try to make Chucky scary again after movies where he fought, had sex with another doll named Jennifer Tilly, had a baby, and we saw Chucky jerking off into a fucking cup to get his goo into Jennifer Tilly's spew into a cooch. You can't do that in past movies and then be like, we won't be scary again. Especially with a killer doll. Maybe you could try to do that with Freddy Krueger, because Freddy Krueger, Robert Englund, is not a fucking doll. Honestly, if you're trying to get for a tone, you should have gone the tone of Child's Play 2 or 3, which were not trying to be the scary, try to hide, but just, hey, here's Chucky, he's a force of nature, let's have him go buck wild. And have Chucky available in, 10, 15 minutes. And those were low budget movies too, so don't give me, oh, it's a low budget. Those are low budget movies as well, but Chucky actually looks pretty damn good in those movies compared to this. I mean, if I go to the rest of the film, beginning of the film, there's someone at the door, and the lead girl, the mom makes the lead girl who's in a wheelchair go to the door. I'm like, hey, bitch, you're painting, I know, but you're 10 feet from the door, and you're making your daughter, who's in a wheelchair and all across another room, get the door for you when you're only 10 feet away. I'm like, hey, you in the wheelchair, I have legs, I could walk, but and you're far away. I'm gonna make you do it because I'm the mom. I'm like, what the fuck? She gets a package, and again, the lead girl, Brad Dourif's daughter, does alright. I will admit, she's not bad. But Chucky looks like shit, cheapo, fucko, knockoff. Well, you know, I shouldn't call him Chucky. I should call him Fucky. So Fucky looks like he's got the Boy George complexion on his face. I'm like, is this Dolly Dearest? Oh no, it's supposed to be Fucky. Okay, I thought it was, Dolly Dearest. Sorry. Wrong movie. Looks like a fucking prissy, pansy, pussy. And then one night, there's screams, and the lead finds her mom dead on the floor. Her sister comes, a priest comes, a nanny comes, the sister's hubby, like I said, the double of Mark Ruffalo. The little girl come in. Little girl goes to the bathroom. We get to hear the little girl piss on the pot. Thank you, Don Mancini, for that. And then this wannabe suspense scene, which I'm like, we know Chucky isn't going to do anything because it's too early in the film, and the movie will be over already. She finds Chucky, and she's like, Chucky was in the bathroom, and the lead girl, she's like, huh, but I'm like, she doesn't think anything else of it. I'm like, you don't think anything's weird that Chucky was in the bathroom, and you didn't put in there, and no one else put in there. Wouldn't you think that's a bit weird? But she kind of completely forgets about it. There's a lot of people doing a lot of dumb things, which granted, there are many things I enjoy that you just say that. But they do say that. They do bring that up. And I bring it up in this because I didn't like the movie. If I liked the movie, I could give it a pass. Here, it's more like a pass from an ass called gas. And I know people are like, oh, it's not that fucking bad. Well, what's so fucking good about it? Other than, but it tried to be scary. So does every fucking horror film that comes out nowadays. Every fucking found footage movie tries to be scary. Films like Ouija, they try to be scary. Do they work? Or do they fail and they have still fuck? If you don't give it a pass because it would try to be scary, then you gotta give a pass to every fucking horror film that's come out since forever. I mean, technically, isn't that what most horror films are supposed to do? Try to be scary? I say most, not all. But, I mean, it fails. So, yeah, Chucky looking like Boy George. The sister wants to sell the house. The lead girl's like, but I live here. The sister's being kind of bitchy. Chucky at times disappears and reappears, and people think nothing of it. And I'm like, okay. Chucky puts rat poison in this chili that the lead girl is making, and this insufferably long sequence of people eating chili. And I'm guessing the director was trying to be like, hey, who is eating the rat poisoned chili? Who will be dead? And I'm like, you fucking fail on that. Let's see, we got the little girl eating. Well, she's not going to die because she's a little girl, and they're not going to kill a little girl. And I was correct on that. This is my thinking when I first saw it. I'm like, well, it's not going to be the little girl. It's not going to be the lead. So it's going to be the nanny, the sister, Mark Ruffalo's twin, or the priest. It's not going to be the sister because they don't have more bickering drama, which did end up happening. It's not going to be the nanny because she's too hot and or get some eye candy, which there is because there's a scene where she has, we see her in a bra and a little bit of lesbianism. And so we see the priest and Mark Ruffalo's twin. Probably not Mark Ruffalo's twin because if something happens to him, then either the sister and Andy will want to leave. Who's the guy, odd man out? The priest. Okay, it's going to be the priest because he's not related to any of the family. If he's related to the family, then someone would go to the hospital or go to here, and lo and behold, it's the priest. If you've seen horror films, you know who it's going to be. So the suspense works about as well as driving your car off a bridge when it's the dead of winter and it's a bridge about 5,000 feet high above a fucking mountain, and then underneath the ice is a bunch of fucking sharks with laser beams on their head. And the reason I try to be ridiculous with that is make myself entertained with the review. Just it's not going to be entertaining anybody else. Just like I don't understand why this movie's entertaining for anybody. I don't get it. Cheap boost airs like a window popping off and ooh, loud wind. But yeah, of course, the priest is the one who got the rat poison. He lies. I'm like, great priest. He lies. Says, I need to be at the church. Why don't you just go? I'm not feeling well. But he leaves. And after an insufferably long scene with a fucking chili, might as well be Pappy's chili. It cuts straight to a crash site. We don't even see the crash. Usually in movies, you see the guy driving and it'd be this car crash, or hell, Child's Play 2 had a fucking car action scene. The original Child's Play. This was cheap enough. It couldn't even afford a fucking action scene with a car. It literally had to cut to after the fact where the guy is trapped there and they let some stuff out. It bleeds, his head falls off, and some geyser of blood. Like, I'm like, this is the same geyser of blood we saw in Seed of Chucky when the head got popped off at the beginning, like the first 10-15 minutes of the film. When Chucky and Tiffany got brought back to life and there's the effects guy and they pop his head off. Like the same gushing effect. So it's time for bed. The nanny has to look for the doll for the little girl. And you find out that the sister, and I guess this is one interesting bit of the script, a lot of times it'd be the husband cheating on the nanny. I mean, cheating on his wife with the nanny. You know, a lot of times, oh, the husband and nanny, they're cheating on the wife. But Don Mancini did a twist where, oh, you think that, but it's actually the sister and the nanny. I'm like, okay. You want a golf clap for that? Okay, Don Mancini, here's your golf clap. You got some lesbianism. Okay, cool. Can't complain about lesbianism. I'm a fan of the same way lesbians are a fan. Both like the same thing, so hey. Good job, buddy. Good job. You get some argument between the sister and the lead, and this is where you definitely get the first time Chucky's actually moving, like 50 minutes in, where the little girl's like, oh, I'm scared, and Chucky goes, what the hell did he say? You fucking should be. And you could tell, like, even Brad Dourif's voice was off in this movie. He's much older. He seems a little tired as the voice of Chucky, and it's just not the same. It's not the same. He's given really nothing worthwhile to say. In that scene, it looked like you might as well have someone put a fucking hand pup inside Chucky's head and move the mouth. It's like, you fucking should be. Again, he looks like a knockoff. Like 90s knockoff would be Schneity. Looking like a fucking transvestite. You get some Skype chat between the nanny and the sister. That's where the nanny has a bra on. And she gets electrocuted. And CGI around the eye, and she's dead. Women can't live with them, period. Oh, thank God you said the period, because I would not understand what you meant by that, Chucky. Thank God you said, can't live with them, period. Like, period, like done, like we're done, right? That's the end of your sentence, period. Sure it's not a question mark? Maybe exclamation point. How about can't live with them? Exclamation point. Can't live with them, parentheses. So, the sister, who's the dumbest fucking lady in this movie, gets the Chucky doll, goes upstairs looking for, I guess, the nanny, finds a kitchen knife on the doll. He's like, then sets the doll down and puts the knife right by it. And is like, then looks around and Chucky has moved from here to like up here. And she's still like, then starts taking stuff off and there's stitches on it. The doll, she's like, still like, then goes near his mouth. And then Chucky tries to bite her. I'm like, why are you trying to put your fingers by his mouth? What the fuck is wrong with you? Do you have brain cells or did they die from loneliness? He kills her by saying, you have your mother's eyes and they're always too fucking close together. Stabbed in the eye, and I'm like, okay. The lead girl's figuring some stuff out. Chucky chases her, and it's a CGI Chucky walking down the stairs. I'm like, Jesus is back, and he is pissed. Chucky tries to kill the girl by suffocation via car exhaust. I'm like, wow, you're stretching for kills if you're. But she smashes the window. Mark Ruffalo's twin comes by. What the hell have you done? Looks at the nanny cam he had put on Chucky. There's a live feed where looks like someone's right behind him, and he knows it's too late. It's on the ground. I will say this is the best death of the movie. Chucky gets an ass, chops the bottom part, chops his chin off. Like this right here. I'll give you that gore scene. I'll give you the Andy Barclay scene after the end credits. The lead girl is doing the best she can. And that gore scene I'll give you. And hey, I didn't see the lesbian thing coming. Bravo. That's on one hand, okay? But it's not worth the insufferable boringness. That's not even a word. The chore to sit through the fucking flick. I mean, is it really scary? Were you really scared of the movie? For anyone who likes the film, were you scared? Were you creeped out? Did you really feel any atmosphere or tension? Were any of the lines worth a shit? You're not going for action because there's no action. It's not meant to be a funny movie, so you're not getting that. It's meant to be scary. It's not scary. It's not creepy. It just takes place in one fucking house. And Chucky looks like shit. Literally, watch a scene from this and watch a scene from Child's Play 2 or Child's Play 3 or Child's Play 1 or even any of them. And watch this. You cannot tell me that this looks better or just as good. Well, you can, but I'm going to disagree with you. So you can tell me that, but I don't get it. I just don't get the love for this movie. I don't fucking get it. Just because it attempts to be scary, great. So then every fucking horror film nowadays tries to do that. And that's where the lead girl she knocks Chucky's head off, but it's okay this time. Because usually in other movies, it's via length of time, Chucky becomes human, he bleeds. And Child's Play 2 is a very short time. When he gets tossed down the stairs, he has the bloody nose. This must be a long fucking stretch of time. Long stretch of time. He would be human now. I mean, that's how he called it in the previous films. You're looking too much into it. Well, I'm glad someone is. This is not the fucking writer slash director who wrote all the other fucking movies. So I'm sorry I'm looking more into the story more than the actual fucking creator. Or I should say one of the creators. Because I do think Tom Holland had a good hand in the first movie. So Chucky puts his head back on, pushes the wheelchair girl off the stairs, high as fuck. Somehow she lives. And that's where you get the flashback for trying to be fucking Sin City. Everything's black and white, but these yellow flowers. And, Brad Dourif saying, why would you want to destroy the family? And I'm like, he's a family? Like, he wants a family? I feel like fucking Casey Jones in the first Ninja Turtles movie. Like, you call this a family? Like, you want what? You want what now? You get a little scuffle in an elevator. And she stabs Chucky. Then a cop comes in. Chucky is run off to play like a doll. And she looks crazy and is blamed for everything. And you know what? I don't even remember where the fuck the little girl was that whole time. Was she sleeping the whole time? During all that noise and all that shit going on, she slept through it all? So she's called insane and taken away. And then it cuts to later on. He has been shipped to, or he's gotten to the girl who's with her grandma, whatever the hell. And she said, oh, Auntie, the lead girl, she killed Mom and Dad. And Chucky's like, let's play hide the soul. And then there's like this slow pan, and then I guess the grandma comes up with a bag over her head, kind of like what Chucky did to that guy at the beginning of Child's Play 2. I'm like, what kind of ending is this? And then after the end credits, it says 6 months later. I'm like, well, I guess he failed at that, right? And then Andy Barclay shoots him in the face. It was the only good scene in the fucking movie. It's not even technically part of the movie. It's the best part of the movie. If you like the film, fine, but why? I don't know, why should it matter why? If you like the film, good on you. I think I get defensive on that because I know I get so much shit, and I know I'm going to get so much shit, but fuck it. You take an opinion, fuck it. It's my opinion. If you like the film, more power to you. More power to me is to avoid the shit. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. And any last words? I like the first 3 Child's Play films. But I didn't see Chucky. I have a lot of problems with this, though. Sea of Chucky's bad, but I don't. It still, I thought, had some energy to it, even though it's fucking terrible comedy. It was still some energy, momentum. There was a momentum. Here, there is no momentum. It's this guy thinking he's fucking Alfred Hitchcock, or thinking he's. I cannot believe I forgot his fucking name. Richard Franklin, who did Psycho 2 and Road Games. He thinks he's those guys, and he's not. And when you do that battle, you get a boring as hell flick with the cheapest looking Chucky. Music-wise, can't remember one piece of the score. The lesbianism wasn't even full force because there's no titties. If you don't have lesbian, you don't have titties, or give me death. Give me titties and lesbians, or give me death. So even the lesbian wasn't great. There's no titties, no nipples, no nothing, just a bra. I'm like, that's as far you don't get? You fail on that level, Don Mancini. So you failed the lesbian level, there's no titties. Okay, some gore. Okay? Golf clap. It's not scary. It's not meant to be funny, so of course it's not funny. Chucky's lines suck ass. And I think the movie sucks ass. So that's my rant on Cursive Fucky. Next up, I'll have a couple stuff because we're getting very close to Halloween, so I'm going to wrap things up. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.